Good evening. My name is Zita Cobb, and I'm going to share a story of Fogo Island with a particular focus on the last 12 years as we've been working on a series of initiatives that might be called innovations that are intended to grow another leg on the economy, and to do so in a way that holds on to the old while flourishing in the new. Modernity has not been kind to small places. But small places can be hotbeds of innovation, especially if we are thoughtful about the relationship between sacred capital and financial capital. There are inventions and there are innovations. Generally speaking, innovation is associated with creating something with the dream of success, and innovation is associated with creating something in order to serve a need. In our 400 years on Fogo Island, we've been very focused on needs and therefore on innovation. In our Fogo Island projects, we also started with a need, the pressing need to do something to reverse the continuing disintegration of our community, and we wanted to develop an approach that might be useful for others. The challenge was to figure out how to belong and how to flourish in a globalized economic system. In addition to this pressing need, we started with some strong beliefs that remain a source of energy for our work. We believe that place itself has intrinsic value, and we believe that what we have and what we know on Fogo Island has intrinsic value and is in fact a kind of sacred capital. It's sacred because it's specific. It emerged out of a specific set of circumstances and, if lost, cannot be replaced. To quote E.F. Schumacher, nature and culture are the two great garments of human life. Business and technology are the two great tools that can and should serve them. We have lots of garments, lots of nature and culture, lots of sacred capital. Our task was figuring out how to use business and technology in their service. We also believed that there had to be a way to hold on to place by creating commercial value from things that have intrinsic value, from our sacred capital. We understood that without economic viability, there can't be cultural or social viability. In one of life's many paradoxes, it seemed to us that the only way to hold on was to reach out, and we clearly needed to find a new way with old things. Happily, we had lots of old things to work with. Our fishery is old and essential, but not sufficient. We started with a stock taking, often called ABCD, asset-based community development, asking, what do we know, what do we have, what do we love, what do we miss, and what can we do about it? We discovered that we have a lot of assets, a lot of sacred capital, a people predisposed to profound hospitality who have always worked from first-hand embodied knowledge, a singular culture and a singular geography, 7 distinct seasons, a community of master builders, recyclers, tinkerers, makers, and problem solvers, and a kind of persistence and courage born of necessity. And we had a bit of money from our careers in technology. It is said that ability is what we are capable of. Motivation determines what we'll do, and attitude determines how well we'll do it. Our Fogo Island ability comes from fishing and surviving on the North Atlantic. Our Fogo Island motivation is to hold on to our community. Our love of our place is an old love that doesn't let go easily. Our Fogo Island attitude is one of openness. We reached out to the world for the skills we don't have on the island, such as architecture and professional design, and we engaged tools like broadband internet that are crucial to participation in the global economy. There are two things in the attitude of Fogo Islanders that make all the difference: curiosity and persistence. That curiosity made us open to the possibility that what we've been doing isn't the only way, perhaps not even the best way. We wanted to know what others know, what others understand, and others see. The artist residency program has been like a fresh morning breeze to curious minds. And persistence. clinging to a rock for 400 years has bred an attitude of persistence. Curiosity and persistence reinforce each other, and they create a mindset of innovation. We created a charity, Shorefast, that in turn created a unique social enterprise model, perhaps the only one of its kind in the country, so that surpluses are invested back into the community through the foundation's work. We believe local and community ownership of businesses is essential for small places. We reached out to governments and work with them as important collaborators and partners, as we all have an important role to play in the solution economy. We see art as essential to belonging, essential to critical thinking, and essential to understanding how we fit into the world. And we see the past, all that has come before us, as a source of energy. We modeled ourselves after ourselves, and we tried to create from the essence of place. Our process was to interrogate our past, our present, and even our future, to ask and answer, what is the contemporary form of this or that? What is a Fogo Island quilt? What is a Fogo Island punt? What is a Fogo Island hospitality? We used architecture and design as tools to reinforce our Fogo Islandness, to create buildings and forms in which to put our knowledge, to help us hold hands with the past, while allowing our way of knowing to live and adapt. We built an inn that Architectural Digest called one of the 10 most daring buildings on the planet, and Domus magazine called an act of human culture. The vernacular architecture of Fogo Island became the contemporary architecture of Fogo Island. Punt building knowledge reemerged in chairs. Our centuries-old predisposition to hospitality is recognized as groundbreaking, embodied contemporary hospitality. And our old ways with food became award-winning contemporary cuisine. With a vision to build what economist Tim Jackson calls an economy of care, craft, and culture, we made almost every object we needed for the inn on Fogo Island. We wanted to create a new industry and preserve our knowledge of making. Furniture making turned into another social business. These past 12 years have been and continue to be a process that is iterative, a process of knitting, a tangle of hospitality, art, furniture, craft, culture, ways of knowing, geography, history, design, a library, a cinema, knitting together all of our assets and all of our ways of knowing. We believe in Dr. Gil Chin Lim's vision of creating a global network of intensely local places. I'd like to close with an idea that I think's already gone past on the slides, and a poem. The idea is economic nutrition labeling. We do this for our businesses, and you can see it on our websites. But imagine if everything offered for sale in the world had a label that told consumers where the money goes. Such labeling would make it easier for us to use our financial capital to support sacred capital. It would make it easier for us to use our spending to fortify communities. And the poem by Glenn Calhoun, a poem about being upright, about walking upright. As simple as it sounds, it takes ongoing innovation for a community to remain upright. The art of walking upright is the art of using both feet. One is for holding on, and one is for reaching out. Thank you.